Think about all the times that your soul was screaming at you that the psychopath or the narcissist was cheating. Your soul was screaming at you. You would see signs everywhere. You knew something was wrong, and you went against that gut reaction. Welcome back, friends. This is Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira, and today we're talking about the ego. Nope, that's how it works. Welcome back, friends. My name is Kira. No. Welcome back, warriors. My name... No. Wanted to make a video about keeping our egos in check when faced with narcissistic abuse and the recovery period that we must go through to heal and to move forward. And usually moving forward means moving away from the psychopath narcissist. But it's interesting how our ego tends to get in the way, especially at the beginning. I've had many situations in the past, and I've had many people ask me, Kira, I wanna go to this concert, for example, but I know my narcissist ex is gonna be there. But I know I shouldn't go. But why should I stop myself from going and enjoying my life and doing the things that I want to do? Shouldn't I just go anyway so that I can show him that I'm strong and that I can do whatever and he doesn't bother me and that no matter where he's at, I'm still going to live my life? Shouldn't I do that? And you know what? I'm going to throw this back at you and ask you, well, how do you feel right now, even talking about this future situation? Just the fact that you're asking me means that there's something that you feel uncertain about. Do you feel any type of anxiety just thinking about the fact that your psychopath narcissist ex might be at that concert? Or it doesn't have to be a concert, any event, a party, a mutual networking event, whatever it is. If you feel deep down in your soul that you're gonna have an encounter, that you're gonna run into your narcissist ex at this event, at this party, at this social gathering, do you feel any type of anxiety right now just thinking about that? Thinking about the many possibilities of what would happen if you bump into your narcissist ex there? How would you handle that situation? What's he or she gonna do? Are they gonna be with another girl, with another guy? Are they going to be flaunting their new supply? Are they going to come at you and harass you? Are they going to give you shit? What is it that you're worried about? Doesn't matter what you're worried about. What you really have to focus on is, how do you feel? What's going on right now in your stomach when you're thinking about the possibility of bumping into them at that event this weekend? Maybe it's not even this weekend. Maybe you have something planned a month from now, something you've really been looking forward to. Maybe something that both of you guys had planned together, and now you're split, and you're still gonna go, and you know that they're still gonna go. How do you feel as you count down those days? Can you sleep? Are you really excited and looking forward to that event anymore? Nay. I bet you're not. I sure as fuck bet you're not. I remember situations like that. And not having my ego in check caused me a lot of distress. And this is what I want you guys to really focus on, how the ego can get in the way. Think about it. You're giving in to one of the 7 deadly sins. You're giving in to pride. That's what you're doing. It's like, I'm going to go anyway. I don't care. Sure. It's not like you've recovered. It's not like you've healed. It's not like you've moved on. That's the ego talking. The ego talking right now is blinding you. It's clouding your judgment. From my point of view, a person is weaker when they give in to a mortal sin. A person is weaker when they go against themselves, which is what a sin is, anything that you do that goes against yourself. So when you go against yourself, when you go against your soul, think about all the times that your soul was screaming at you that the psychopath or the narcissist was cheating. Your soul was screaming at you. You would see signs everywhere. You knew something was wrong. And you went against that gut reaction. You pointed the finger at yourself. You took blame. You blamed yourself. You thought, oh, I'm just paranoid. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that gal. I'm going to trust my partner even though the writing is on the wall. Remember when you went against your gut reaction? Remember you got burned? Remember that? I do. I sure do. And I know you do too. Anytime we go against ourselves, problems arise. There's a reason why our soul is there. We have radars, we have intuition. It's trying to protect us. When you're dealing with a toxic person, that's when, yeah, we can say those radars may be skewed. There's cognitive dissonance. Yeah and no. Usually, that's when the radars are firing out of control. And maybe that's why you might think, oh, there must be something wrong with my system because it's acting all weird and crazy. No, it's that you're dealing with a highly, severely toxic predator. And your radars are like at a code red. They're out of control for a reason. They're not malfunctioning. You've just never experienced them. They've never been posed with that threat before. That's really what's going on. If you leave your ego unchecked, you're gonna run into a lot more problems. It takes a stronger person, it makes you a stronger person to go with your intuition, to go against the grain, what everybody's trying to tell you. Oh, don't be a pussy, like you should go, don't listen to that, don't let that bother you. No, shut the fuck up, because if you've never been entangled with a psychopath or a narcissist or someone with this type of predatory, toxic, malignant personality disorder, you don't know what it feels like, and you can't just brush it off. We would like to entertain the idea that we can brush things off as you start healing, as you accumulate months and months and years of no contact. But at the beginning of the recovery phase, of the recovery process, you cannot continue going to the events that this person continues to attend. If you're still working in the same environment, I'm sorry to say, you gotta get another job. Yeah, you cannot continue working. Imagine being this person's secretary and you hooked up with the boss and the boss turned out to be a psychopath. What, you're gonna keep showing up to work and he's signing your paychecks? I mean, think of the mental agony and the distress that someone in that situation would go through. Like, it's time to start looking for another position elsewhere because things are not gonna get any better for you. That's when the abuse really begins. Hopefully you guys are not going through a situation like that, but I really wanna bring some perspective into the situation for you. Here you are you have the opportunity to not attend, right? Not attend these parties or these gatherings or these events that you know deep inside your soul is telling you, I know they're gonna be there. You have the choice. And if you choose to listen to the ego and you choose just to try and force things, just to try and be a badass, you're gonna get burned. Things are not gonna go the way you think. You think right now, because right now you're in the comfort and the safety of your home or in your car, you're watching this video, you feel a little empowered, and you're like, yeah, I can handle it. It's like the person that says, yeah, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest. I had a cousin of mine that told me, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest, that's my goal. I laughed in his face. I laughed in his face and I told him, man, you don't even have a job. You're gonna go climb Mount Everest? Get the hell out of here. Like, it's easy. It's easy to have these goals and to just tell yourself, yeah, I can do that when you're safety of your couch and you're nice and cozy. Yeah, everyone's tough, everyone's brave. Yeah, I can do that. But when you're actually faced with that tiger, face to face with that tiger, when you're face to face in that mountain, in that cold and that steep mountain, and you don't even know how to climb a mountain, for crying out loud, it's a different world. You're going to end up going to that party or that event or that concert, that show, whatever. And you're going to get wrecked. The psychopath is going to wipe the floor with you. You have no idea what these people are capable of when put in a situation like that. It takes a stronger person and makes you a stronger person to choose happiness, to choose peace, to choose anything else except walking into the lion's den. Again, voluntarily walking into the lion's den. It makes you a lot stronger and confident to say, hell no, I'm not a coward. I choose peace. And you know what happens the minute you choose that option? Somehow the universe rewards you. And that's when now your friends all of a sudden call you, hey, this awesome thing is going on that night, let's go. Sometimes you go and you do something else and then you meet an amazing person that night. I remember there was this flight that I was going to take to New York, and the flight got canceled. And I was with this girl at the time, and she was so adamant. She was like, no, we have to book another flight. We have to do this. And I was like, New York is frozen right now. No airplanes are landing in any of the airports. There's nothing that we can do. No, we have to figure it out. We have to do it. Christmas, you know, I'm not going to take no for an answer. And I'm sitting there. I already accepted that God, the matrix, the universe did not want me to get on that plane. I already accepted that. I was already in my head relieved that I was going to go back home. I was going to get my money back and I was going to do something else. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. But I just knew that I was not going to get on that plane. And as a matter of fact, nobody was getting on that plane. And eventually she had to throw in the towel when she realized that they're not booking any flights to New York. And later that night, I went to a cool art festival. And I met this amazing girl, not even a girl that, it wasn't a romantic thing, just a really super cool chick. We had a lot of things in common. She does music, and we actually ended up working together and collaborating on some projects. And it's like, the way we met was incredible. I remember I was just walking, minding my own business, and I see this girl's looking at me. We kind of like locked eyes. I looked away, I looked again, she's looking at me, and we both started laughing, and I was like, you know I gotta come say hi. You're like, you know I just have to because this is just too weird. And it was just like, we were both giddy because everything was just so cool, you know? I told her the story. I was like, you know, I was supposed to be in New York right now. And it's like, look at the way the matrix, everything just transpired and happened. And because I didn't try to go against the grain, I didn't try to force my way, now I met you, and it's like years later, like we worked on so many cool projects together. It's like, wow. It's like amazing. So when you have a situation like this, especially when you're dealing with this narcissist and this psychopath X, choose you. Do not choose the ego, choose you. You have to choose yourself. And maybe, you know, you're going to end up being home and having an amazing night. Maybe you're just going to make some popcorn, kick back and watch a movie. And you're not going to, and you have to realize that maybe that sounds boring, but look within. Is your heart skipping a beat right now when you think about that? Is your stomach turning with that fear and that anxiety? By this point, if you've chosen yourself, then you're not going to be feeling those things. The moment you're feeling any type of negative emotion, you have to stop doing whatever it is that you're doing because your body, your soul is telling you this is not in alignment. And now there's a difference between you're doing 100 push-ups and your mind is telling you to stop, right? Or you're working out really hard or something like that. There's a difference between you're just lazy and you don't want to work hard and you're challenging yourself and it's like, oh, this is hard. There's a difference between that. Don't get it twisted. There's a difference between that and just that negative emotion that swells up in your stomach, around your heart. You get palpitations, it's hard to breathe, your solar plexus tighten up, your mind is chaotic, like that type of negative emotion. It's like when you're in an argument with a friend. You're arguing with someone that you care about, and now there's tension, right? You're both stressed out, you're bickering at each other. Stop. Nobody wins an argument. Stop. Who are you trying to convince? Who are you trying to convince? You can't convince a stubborn person to see it your way, and you know what? They're not going to convince you either. Stop. pay attention to the way you feel and make a conscious decision to stop. Because if you don't, I can promise you, nothing good's gonna come out of that. If you decide to say, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna go to that party anyway, I don't care if they're there. Well, you know what? Let me know how that works out for you. Let me know how that works out for you. I'm pretty sure everyone here can predict exactly what's gonna happen. Now maybe 2 or 3 years later down the line, when you've had no contact with the psychopath predator, when you haven't seen them, you haven't communicated them, you've moved on, maybe you've dated again, maybe you haven't, maybe you've been in other relationships that haven't worked out, maybe you haven't, maybe you've accomplished amazing things, maybe you've been traveling, whatever it is. Down the line, maybe someday there'll be some event that maybe in the back of your mind you'll be like, I wonder if that piece of shit is gonna be there. And then you realize, I wonder if that piece of shit even lives in my city anymore. I wonder if that piece of shit is dead. And then you'll get distracted with something, with anything, and the brain realizes that it's better to pay attention to anything at this point than ruminate about that trauma from like 2 or 3 years ago. It doesn't hold weight anymore because you've healed, you've gotten over this, you're on the other side of the fence. Maybe at that point, you can say, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna do whatever I want. I'm gonna go wherever I want. Maybe at that point, you can handle it. Maybe at that point, and you won't even be worried whether the psychopath or narcissist is there. And if you're not entertaining that thought and you're not creating those negative emotions and that fear and that anxiety, then maybe you won't even manifest it. That's right, I said it. Maybe you won't manifest it. Sometimes we manifest not only the things that we want and love, but sometimes the direct opposite, the complete opposite, the things that we fear. We ruminate and ruminate and ruminate, and it's like the Matrix says, okay, well, the Matrix says, okay, apparently this is what you really want because this is all you talk about, this is all you think about, so let's give you some of that. And then you're like, oh God, this is not what I want. Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's all you think about, it's all you focus on, so that's what you get. So if right now you're thinking about this event or this party or whatever it is that you're trying to go to, you have it on your calendar, and the thought that the narcissist X might be there eclipses any other positive emotion you might have of that party or that event, then the writing's on the wall. If I'm looking forward to something and I have all these great emotions and I'm like, oh my God, it's gonna be great, and I'm gonna be there with my friends, and I'm gonna feel good, and we're gonna do this and that, that's awesome. But if you're looking forward to something and all your mind is just plagued with disaster, it's like, oh God, maybe this is gonna happen, and oh my God, they're gonna be there, and if they say this, and now you're creating all this negativity, and your heart is going out of control, and your mind is in chaos. Well, maybe you shouldn't go. Maybe you should change plans. Maybe you should make alternate plans. But the choice is yours. And you know what? It's a beautiful thing to have choices. And I like to remind you guys that everyone here in this community, I don't care if you have kids, if you're married, whatever your situation is with the psychopath, you do have a choice. That choice may be a little harder from where you're at, from the level of awareness that you have right now, not having been through something like this. Maybe things have gotten so crazy and so escalated in court, and they're creating all these stories, and you have this trial, and you have this and this and that. But you still have a choice on how to respond, the people you need to surround yourself with to help you, the things that you need to stop doing so that you can lower the cortisol levels and relax and be able to clear your mind so that you can make a better decision and you can act accordingly and not have to live in this constant state of terror. You have a choice. We all have choices. Until you tell me that the psychopath has you locked up inside a cage and he swallowed the key, and somehow you're watching this video because he dropped his cell phone into the cage, and you have an internet account and you're able to go in there and YouTube the situation, unless you're in a dire situation like that, you have choices. And even in an extreme situation like that, you have the choice to sit still and meditate and just accept that that's where you're at right now. And you don't know how things are going to change, and there's not much that you can do. And sometimes all we can do is try to manage our emotions and stay calm, stay rational, so when the moment to strike arises, we're ready. That's all I got for today. If you'd like to work with me on my coaching program so that I can help you accelerate the level of courage and the mental clarity that you need to get out of that cage, to make decisions that you feel much more comfortable with, that resonate with you, that inspire peace and harmony, then reach out to me. I have a link below that has been scrolling like this entire video right there. Reach out. We'll see if we're a good fit for each other and we can make this work. And until then, remember, choose you, not the ego. The choice is yours. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. Signing off for now. Talk to you soon.